Sky. I'm 20 years old and this is my 4th time at the Mission to Japan Beach Retreat. I have absolutely loved it.
That first one really hooked me, the spring retreat. Best spring break I've ever spent, and this one in the summer, best summer vacation I've ever been on.
And this is my first experience with the Missions to Japan retreat, and it's been a really good experience.
I've lived in America all my life, so I never saw the other side of the other world, so to speak. But it was just an eye-opening thing for me, I think.
The moment I got here and the moment I started speaking with these students, the Lord just completely turned my heart, and I felt such a connection with them and a genuine friendship building with them that this is something I want to continue doing now.
One of my favorite things has just been all of the friends that I've been able to make at every single retreat, and it's been such a great experience getting to meet people from Japan and other Americans. It's been an amazing experience.
It's just amazing how I came on this retreat because I had nothing to do in the beginning for spring break, and the relationships I formed and just the community I felt was fantastic. I didn't expect that at all.
For me, I think the best thing is just getting to know Americans and getting to know the Japanese, of course, because you're spending 5 days out on the beach and you're living with all these people, obviously in different rooms, but it's really cool to see how God kind of brings the Americans together.
So we play lots of games. Every afternoon before lunch we'll go to the beach and we'll play some beach games, hang out in the sun. It's a blast. We also do this thing called building bridges. We do that multiple times a day where you get 30-minute time blocks one-on-one with a Japanese student, and you get to ask some questions that we each have in our folders and just have free talking as well to get to know each other better and just have an opportunity for further conversation.
Well, we have breakfast together and we have lunch together where we have meal teams and we cook the meal together, we take turns, we work with one another and have conversations.
So we do a lot of games, whether it's on the beach or in the room that we meet. We also play games together at night. We play board games and all that stuff.
What's cooking?
Some curry.
Oh. What's in the curry?
Beef, onions, potatoes, carrots.
All right. Did you do it all, or did everybody help?
Everyone helped.
Everyone,
I'm
even
just
you?
watching it boring.
Even this guy?
No, he didn't.
Oh, he didn't do anything? What are you guys up to over here?
Learning Japanese.
Are you teaching?
No, Duolingo is teaching.
It's an app.
Oh.
We cook meals together, we eat together, we go to the beach and play games together, we stay up all night together. It's just one of the neatest things ever. So don't think of it as much as a church sort of gospel sharing retreat as much as just a family gathering of coming to build community and hang out with people that you love and people that you'll learn to love and get to know. So it's really fun.
We have building bridges, which is our kind of one-on-one with the Japanese students, and there are some questions that if the Japanese would like to, can become spiritual. They can spend a lot of time talking about it, but it's not forced.
Well, not all of the Japanese that come on the program are necessarily Christians, but they know that they will be introduced to the topic of Christianity and they'll have required Bible classes that they have to sit through. So it's not like they show up and all of a sudden all of us are preaching at them and they're scared.
I think at first it's a little intimidating because it's so different than America that sometimes some of the students have no background knowledge on Christianity. So these concepts that we take for granted every day, they're hearing for the first time. But from my experience, when I open up and I talk about it with them, they're actually very interested for the most part, and they've received it well.
There's just as much physical scientific evidence for the reason the Bible exists. It's real and it's true.
And a lot of the times, with my experience, the Japanese students are eager and they're interested in our opinion and our outlook on life, whether or not they agree with it. So every opportunity or every experience that I've had sharing my faith or just my worldview and the things I believe with Japanese students, has been positive. They've been interested and they've actually asked a lot more questions than I even expected them to. So
So you are sure that Christianity is true? Christianity is only true because this time we study.
And of course they have it in a little more simpler terms because their English isn't really, some of them, their English isn't really that strong. So you really have to sit back and think, okay, how can I explain this the best way I can to make sure that they understand it and to make sure that it's clear for the both of us to really get to know each other. But during that time, I think is like the most deepest time because you're just spending that one-on-one time with the Japanese.
So I think at first I was a little worried that it was going to be forced or that I was going to have to play up this personality of always preaching, and I was worried that I was going to offend someone. And it's really based on how well they want to get to know me. It's how well they get to know my faith. That it comes very naturally, and it's just me sharing myself with them. And that faith being a part of my life, they're actually fairly interested in listening to it and ask very good questions.
Joining this program really helped me reconnect with the Lord, and just by sharing the gospel made me realize, okay, I can articulate the gospel for myself. I don't think I had ever in 1 week had to share the gospel that many times, and it really helped me because I went into youth ministry and was able with American youth to later share the gospel with them much more clearly.
I think one of the most beautiful things about the retreat is I had such a fantastic time on retreat, but when I left, I didn't leave feeling tired or exhausted. I actually left feeling rejuvenated back in the communities I'm a part of, to engage in deeper relationships and to follow Christ more earnestly. So if you don't know anyone, after the first day, I felt like I knew everyone.
So I was really nervous entering into my first retreat because I didn't know any of the American students, but I've met a different American student every single time I've been on the retreat. There's always new people kind of coming in, and everybody I've met everybody's been so kind and so nice.
First joined, I only knew one. So that was like a big scare for me because I'm like, I only know one person, but it really got me out of my shell to really get to know others. And now that I've been a part of it for so long, every time I see new faces, I really like to get to know that person, to see who they are.
You will regret not going. You will absolutely regret not going.
There's no real excuse to not do it. It's a fun experience, and just because they're from Japan, it doesn't make it any different from how you would hang out with your other friends.
So I would say definitely do it because the benefits of doing this retreat last way longer than just the 1 week of doing the retreat.
Just try it. You never know what could come out of it, and even if it's not for you, at least you can say you tried it.
It's a week at the beach, and you meet a lot of great people.
Just go for it. You won't regret it.
Well, I'd say pray about it, but then definitely do it.
I would say go for it.